Hello, welcome back to the channel, and I'm in the van again today, and what I want to talk about today is things that when I picked up the van, and I bought this van from brand new, could have been improved, or there's little faults that need repairing, that need rectifying under the warranty. Now, I know that there's a waiting list to get these faults rectified, and that being said, I don't want to put anybody off, because all the faults I'm talking about are very minor ones. In fact, the most serious of my faults is an engine warning light that came on. It's just a sensor. You can still drive the vehicle, so there's nothing to worry about there. My van actually went in on the 9th of August to have that sensor repaired, and it's something to do with a sensor that's on the DPF filter. But I just thought I'll go over this little list because I know that people recently have said, oh, I've got a CV40 or I've got a CV20 and this is wrong with it and that's wrong with it. But honestly, with new vehicles, this is my first camper van, but I've had new cars in the past, and there's always little niggles and little things that you think that could have been done better. So that's what I want to discuss today, and it's my snagging list. Oh, it's a fly. How do you get in here? Well, funnily enough, that leads to me with one of my snagging lists is the fly screen. So that's probably how we got in here. But I'll get to that later on in the list. Okay, so bloody fly. I'll tell you, I'll catch that fly. But not in the fly screen, I won't. Next thing on my list is my water sensor. Okay, so my water level indicator. Now, I've done a video on this previously and recalibrating the sensors, because my dealer said try recalibrating the sensor because basically it's as good as useless. So I've spoken to my dealer again about it, and as a warranty claim they've put in that I need a new water sensor. So I'm still waiting for that, but when that happens and when that comes around and they do fit a new water sensor, I'll let you know in a future video if that fixed my problem or whether or not the water sensors are just the way they are and they're useless. So that will be the next thing on my snagging list. Okay, moving on to my cupboard door. Now, I've got a cupboard door at the back of my van here. Now, I don't know whether it's MDF that's laminated or whether it's like I don't know how they do it. I don't know, they stick a sort of a wood grain pattern on. I think you can see these cupboards behind me. There's like a wood grain pattern on here. My cupboard door at the back, and I'm going to go and show you in a minute, whatever it is that's stuck on top of the wood is peeling off. So, before I go to the next thing on the list, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around to the back of the van now with you and show you this cupboard door and show you what I mean. Okay, right, I'm at the back of the van now. I've got the rear doors open. As you can see here, this is peeling off. Now, it looks to me, when you have a look at it, there's no glue on that at all. Paper, that's what it is. It looks like paper. So it's a paper transfer that's just been glued on. Unfortunately, they haven't put any glue on that bit. Everywhere else it seems fine. It's just this door that needs replacing. Let's go back inside and we'll see what's next on the list. Okay, so here we are back in the van again. As I said, we've looked at the back door. What's next on my list? Front blinds are missing a screw. Okay, now this is just sloppy work in my opinion. Okay, now this is down to Elddis, if Elddis are the ones that fitted these blinds, and it is just sloppy work. Now I know they're trying to rattle through these things, but you know, a little bit more attention to detail. Customers are paying a lot of money for these vehicles, and I'll show you what I mean. It's got the, I think it's pronounced Remus. Is it Remus blinds on the side windows in the cab area and on the front windscreen? Or the front windscreen, which are excellent by the way, and they've got a little sticker on the passenger door that says don't drive with your blinds closed. I could have figured that one out for myself, Elddis, but okay. These blinds, they're screwed to the head lining of the van in the cab area. Well, the plastic frame is that the blinds sit in, only the plastic frame on mine has got screws in and there's a one screw missing at the end. Well, if you've got blinds, the whole purpose of blinds is to stop the light coming in. So leaving a gap in that the light can come through isn't really very effective, is it? I know that there's never been a screw in there because there's no hole. So this is just sloppy work. But I'll just show you what I mean now. I'll get this camera turned around. You give us a second. And I'll have to fold my table in a little bit because I'm a fat lad and I can't get through there. Oh, bloody head banger. Ooh. I'll see if I can show you what I mean here. See this here? That's sagging down. I mean, daylight comes through there, look. Now, the reason being, and I'll fold that back, is this hole in the end here that you can just see my little pinky sticking through. That's supposed to have a screw in it. There's the hole. Obviously, as you can see, there's no screw in there and there never has been. The problem being is that should have been screwed up tight to there. I mean, you know, pointless really, isn't it? Having blinds that don't keep the light out. Anyway, right, let me squeeze through here again. Hang on, we're breathing in. Oh, there you go. I wouldn't care. I live on salad, me, you know, I live on salad. Right, so there you go, back on the tripod. These are very minor things, but things that do, you think to yourself, well, I've paid a lot of money for this van. I want one more plastic screw. I've earned it. Okay, so there you go. So another plastic screw would be great, Elddis, okay? Which moves on to the next part of my list. Okay, screw caps are missing. I'll show you what I mean. Right, screw caps. What I mean by that is, there you go. Oh, it's coming out, stand by. There you go. See, right, so that's the little screw cap. That's the plastic screw cap there, okay? Now, underneath that there's a little fixing. Now, as you can all see, that fixing hasn't been fixed very well, has it? The screw isn't all the way in. They've like sort of put the screw 3/4 away and thought, yeah, that'll do. Okay, now that's fine if you're going to cover it over and it is tight in there. Maybe the screw's nice and tight, so there's going to be no movement. That's fine. But there's covers, these plastic caps that's supposed to cover the screws. I've noticed there's some missing, but as you can see in here, just above the head banger, in that corner, there's one missing there. Now, it's probably because they thought, well, you're never going to see that up there, but still, I think they should have put one in, and there's one missing over there as well. I don't know if you can see that one. Okay, so there's two, and there's a couple more dotted around the van at the back as well. Okay, so that being said, it can't cost them much for a packet of plastic screw covers, but it would make me happy. And I mean, I think customer satisfaction is one of the most important things. They must have some kind of quality control at Elddis whereby once the van's finished, somebody goes around and checks these little details and says, well, hang on a minute, there's a couple of screw covers missing here, we need them putting right, and there's a screw missing out the blinds, that needs putting right before we let this off the production line. Well, it would appear to me that there's nobody doing that job, so maybe there's a vacancy at Elddis at the moment, because that job needs filling. Okay, that being said, I'll move on to my next thing. The sliding door trim falling off. Right, now I'm sure everybody's aware of this, right? That interior plastic panel is fixed with double-sided sticky tape. No good. Elddis should know this, okay? So before you ship this out, you should realise that every customer with this type of vehicle, with that plastic panel on a side sliding door, on a van conversion, every customer's going to have this problem. I don't believe there's anyone out there with a side door with double-sided sticky tape that's been stuck on at the factory who hasn't had this problem. And if there are, then great, I'm pleased for you. But I know a lot of people who have had the same problem as me, and the solution is a few screws around the door frame with some plastic screw cap covers over the top. I've done the job myself. Now, I'm not an expert, and it wasn't difficult. It's just put a few screws in, put the caps over the top, job's done. Now, my door panel used to annoy the hell out of me because every time I got in my van, the panel was hanging off again at the top. It was like, there's your door, there's your panel. It was like that every time I got in. I fixed mine myself. I told the dealer about it and they said they would fix it if I brought it in, but you know, I don't want them putting more double-sided sticky tape on it. So I fixed it myself and I put a few screws in. I'll just show you that now. Oh, by the way, I put a little grab handle on the door as well to assist with opening and closing it, and I'll show you that at the same time because it's on the same door panel, so I may as well. Now, that's not a fault. There was no fault there. It wasn't missed off at the factory or anything like that. They don't include one of these grab handles. But what I would say to Elddis is I think it's worth investing in them to put a handle on the inside of your door. Not only does it help the person who bought the van open and close the door, and it assists them in opening and closing the door, but it'll also help in holding the side panel on because you've got to screw it to the door to start with. Okay, so I'll show you them now. Right, so these little screws here, okay, that you see there, I've put those on and put those screw caps on over the top, and I've put them down the side here as well, okay, as you can see. Now, when I got this, and I don't know if I've got a photograph, I'll see if I can find a photograph of it, but this side panel, this plastic panel here, was constantly hanging off at that angle. And it wouldn't stay on, doesn't matter what I did. There was double-sided sticky tape underneath, and there still is, but it's the double-sided sticky tape, Elddis, is not enough to hold this panel on. Okay, so I've screwed mine on, put those caps over the top, and it's never moved since. Okay, so why not just do it at the factory? Okay, now that being said, this grab handle here that I've put on here, I've screwed that onto there at the right height for me, just so that when I get in the van, look, nice and easy, grab the handle and shut the door. Pennies. Come on, Elddis, get it sorted. Problems do get fixed under the warranty, so don't worry about it. And if you're somebody who's ordered your van and you're awaiting delivery of it, don't let this video put you off. These are all very minor teething troubles, okay? The van's not falling to bits. You're not driving down the road with bits falling off like a clown's car, okay? They're very minor little things. Moving on. This was quite alarming, if you excuse the pun. When I got my van, the smoke alarm didn't work at all. So, the smoke alarm didn't work. The dealer rectified that problem straight away. It must be something that the dealer puts up because they had spares, so they must fit that extra. I don't think that's an Elddis part, but they rectified it straight away. Like I say, job's a good one. What's next on the list? Me water drain taps. Okay, so just to show you this, the taps I'm talking about, it's these drainage taps here. One's for the fresh water, one's for the grey waste, or the grey water. Now this one was leaking when I got the van, and they took it away, and as you can see, there's some white sealant around that edge. Don't know if you can see that. but they sealed the tap there. Obviously put some silicone in there and sealed it and stopped dripping. But now this one leaks, so obviously they're either not tightening them up properly, or they're not putting some silicone sealant around, or whatever they're doing. You know, quality control should pick up on that, I think. What I would say though about the drain taps is they're very slow at draining water. I mean, people at campsites must hate us if we turn up at a campsite and we go to the motorhome service point to drain our water off before we leave the campsite to go home. There's a queue a mile long behind me. They must be saying, oh my god, it's one of them fellas in a CV40 again. They're so slow to drain. It's like a little dribble. It's like a trickle, you know. And I've seen other people, they pull up there and they've got like an inch wide pipe sticking out the side of their van. They turn the tap on and it's like a river. Okay, so I think the pipes are too thin. I think they should have put fatter pipes on to drain the water. Again, I don't know whether it's something that can be changed later, but it certainly would make my life easier, and it certainly would stop me from having an angry queue behind me at every campsite I go to. There you go, that's one thing, that the taps leaking. That's the thing I've put on my list anyway. Okay, screws missing from the trim. You know, I said earlier about the screw caps that were missing. Okay, at the back of my van, the wood panel where the door is, where the stuff's peeling off, now that panel itself is screwed on to their bed frame, which is sort of your dining area frame that slides in and out. I'm doing this, a bit like Donald Trump. So the bed frame slides in and out. Now there's wood panels on the end there that are screwed to that bed frame, only mine hasn't got all the screws in, so it's only screwed at the bottom, so the top of it is sort of flexible like this. There's no screws in the top bit. Now there's holes in the bed frame for screws to be put through to screw that panel on tight to the bed frame. However, again, quality control at Elddis, they haven't put those screws in. I can't imagine how they would work themselves loose. I've done 3,000 miles since the van was new. They haven't been rattled so much that they've rattled themselves out. I know it doesn't affect it. I only noticed it when I was making the bed and the panel moves when you're pushing the stuff down the side. But some kind of quality control I think would be helpful, so they can have a checklist of common problems or common faults that people have, because a lot of people with these CV vans, mind, all seem to have the same problems or very similar problems. Well, like I said at the very beginning, there's that fly again. Like I said at the very beginning, I didn't say there's that fly again at the very beginning, but like I said at the very beginning, I think every new vehicle has its own little faults. So those people who are disheartened by these little faults, they're only minor little faults. Don't let it worry you. Just enjoy your van. Go out and enjoy it. That's what I'm doing. And when they fix this snagging list, I'm sure my van will be perfect. Right. Now this is a one that I think everyone has a problem with, and it is the fly screen. This is probably the reason why I've got a fly pestering me right now. So I'm going to show you what I mean by that, okay? If it stays on its runners when I close it, because sometimes it falls off the runners, which is not very helpful. This is the fly screen, okay? And it is very nice to have a fly screen that pulls out to the side there like that. Pulling that fly screen along. Oh, see, it came out the runner there at the bottom. Right, but if I pull the fly screen all the way along, there, as you can see, it's in the runner along the bottom, and sometimes it comes out of there like that. Okay, so I'm not going to pull it out, but as you can see, that's nice. No, there's no flies getting in here. Look, there's the fly screen. Look, I don't know if you can see that, but there's the fly screen. There's no flies getting past here, none getting past here. But hang on a minute, what's this? What's going on here? What? And then no flies are getting in there. Okay, so because of this head banging board here, that's as far across as I can pull that fly screen. Okay, and because at the bottom the plastic trim there, that's as far, so it's touching at the bottom and at the top, but in the middle there's a massive gap here. Now if you ask me, that's made this pointless. Now I've got a fly in here right now. He's buzzing around somewhere. I'll get hold of him eventually. If Dumbo was here, I could get through that gap. Okay, so that's something that's a common fault on everybody's van. There, I think Elddis should sort that out. I don't think it should be left to individuals to fix, because I know that other individuals like Rick, I know you've fixed yours. You shouldn't have to do these things yourself. That fly screen is there to serve a purpose. It's not fit for its intended purpose because it's there as a fly screen and it doesn't stop flies getting in. I'm not really whinging about it. I've accepted they've got these little faults because it's a new van and they will be fixed under the warranty. If they don't get fixed under the warranty, then I'll be whinging. Okay, but at the moment I'm not whinging. I'm just trying to advise people who are buying these vans or are thinking about buying one of these vans that there are common problems that you don't worry too much about. Okay, apart from your door peeling off, which seems to be unique to me. What else we got here? This is a problem. Well, I think it's a problem. The problem is my oven control. Now, I might need a bit of light over here for this. Let's turn these lights on. Okay, this comes with 2 gas burners and 1 electric burner. Okay, and free dog hair as well if you like. So this knob here, it doesn't seem to control the flow of gas at all, or the size of the flame. Okay, now what I mean by that is, if I turn this knob and light the cooker, light the oven, okay, if I do that, the flame is either on or it's off. And I'll just pull this down, give us a sec. Here, I keep these drying mats on because it stops things rattling. Okay, now that knob controls the gas flow, or so I thought, because if you see your food packaging, and now I'm no cook, as you well know from my last trip away, so I'm not a chef, but what I would think is, when it says on your packaging gas mark number 6, it wouldn't be worth putting that on if gas mark number 6 was no different to gas mark number 2 or gas mark number 10, you see. So, and that's the case here for me. It doesn't matter where I turn that dial, the flame inside doesn't increase or decrease in size. Okay, it doesn't seem to make any difference at all, and in fact there doesn't seem to be any resistance at all on that knob. You know, where it just feels like you could spin it round and round and round with your little finger. That's not my little finger, but you could spin it round and round with your little finger. It has no effect at all. I don't know whether that's a fault with my knob, or whether it's how they're supposed to work and the knob's just there for decoration. But again, it's something I've told the dealer about, and they said they're going to have a look at when I take it in. If anybody else has that problem with their knob, then please let me know, because it might be another problem that's unique to me. Moving on. Oh, I'm rattling through these now. Right, I've got a cupboard door catch that is broken. Okay, I'm not going to blame Elddis for this. It was me. Okay, but what I'm going to say is, these catches are very flimsy. You see in here, I'm just going to show you, these catches that you push down, you push that down and then you can open the cupboard. Okay, so that's like a release mechanism for the catch inside. Okay, so just to show you that, when you push that lever, it releases that catch. Okay, now one of those there at the back over the bed, it just snapped off. I just pushed it with my finger to unlock it, and it went all the way through and fell out the bottom and snapped. Again, they've put a warranty claim in for it. It's going to be repaired, but all I would say is be careful with your cupboard catches, because they are a bit flimsy. Okay, now my alarm. Okay, now sometimes it chirps, sometimes it doesn't. It's just a bit random. I don't know what the problem is there, but the thing that I really was unhappy about the alarm, and I know a lot of people have had this problem as well, and I seem to have rectified it for now, but it's something that I think again should have been sorted out by either the dealer or Elddis if they fitted the alarm. Now I don't know whether Elddis fit the alarm or the dealer. I don't know who's responsible for what, but it's the bonnet catch, and those of you who've had this problem will know exactly what I'm talking about, and that is your alarm going off in the middle of the night because it thinks somebody's opened the bonnet, and that is because the pressure switch under the bonnet over time presses a little dimple into the felt that goes underneath the bonnet, and over time the pressure switch pushes into that sound deadening and makes a little dimple. So as that becomes dimpled, the pressure switch then isn't getting pushed all the way in, which means that the alarm goes off. The solution for that up to now is to put a hard plastic disc on the inside of that felt, and that's exactly what I've done. That's the pressure switch there. It obviously gets pushed in when the bonnet closes, and that's the plastic disc that I've had to hot glue under the bonnet onto this black stuff because the alarm kept going off in the night. And I think that's about it. That's my snagging list. I will upload this video, and I hope that people who've bought these vans don't get any problems with them at all. But if you do, maybe they're going to be the same problems that I've had, or maybe they're going to be unique problems to you. But for now, thank you very much for watching. If you're subscribed, thank you very much, because it's climbing all the time and I'm over the moon with me subscribers so far. If you haven't yet subscribed and you're watching these videos, then please do subscribe. It really going to help my channel to grow, and I'll be over the moon with that. Okay, hope you've enjoyed this video. See you next time. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.